Coming up tonight on Newswatch, this week's Democratic debate left voters wondering who won.
And Iowa State has been buzzing with student-led organizations and activities. We'll have more right after this.
I'm Claire Norton, and I'll have more on sports.
Across the state today, but we have a big cool down ahead. I'll let you know more. You're watching Newswatch.
This is Newswatch 18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Right here. Welcome to this Thursday's October 15th edition of Newswatch. I'm Sequan Gatlin.
And I'm Rachel Gibbon. Thanks for joining us.
President Obama has announced that U.S. troops will remain in Afghanistan. The government plans to keep nearly 10,000 soldiers in the country throughout 2016 until a drawback is in effect. The drawback would leave only 5,000 troops in Afghanistan by the end of 2016. Three of the largest terrorist threats to the U.S. have remnants in Afghanistan, including the Taliban, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda. Troops have been in Afghanistan since the war began in 2001. The Department of Defense have estimated that the new plan would cost roughly $15 billion.
Democratic candidates gathered in Las Vegas on Tuesday evening for the first presidential debate. CNN reported that 15 million viewers tuned in to watch the debate. Included were frontrunner Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Martin O'Malley, Jim Webb, and Lincoln Chafee. Some of the most memorable moments include Bernie Sanders expressing his irritation with continuing attacks on Hillary Clinton's email scandal and his approval of legalizing recreational marijuana. The debate, moderated by Anderson Cooper, mainly focused on more controversial content, such as Planned Parenthood and the Black Lives Matter movement. The candidate touched on gun reform, the American economy, raising the minimum wage, and inequality, although Bernie Sanders made significant improvements in the polls. Real Clear Politics show that Hillary Clinton remains the Democratic forerunner by 18.2 points. The next Democratic debate will be held Saturday, November 14th at Drake University.
Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson is temporarily suspending his campaign to go on a 2-week book tour in promotion of his new book, A More Perfect Union. Carson will be attending book signings throughout the country with scheduled signings in Iowa. Carson is in good standing in the presidential race and will continue to return to his campaign to participate in the next GOP debate on October 28th.
Looks like Ames is going to be eating more chicken now that Duff Avenue has a new resident. The grand opening of the new ChickfilA franchise in Ames was yesterday. The first 100 customers entering the doors of the new ChickfilA building received free meals for a whole year. So, you might have seen members of the Ames community camped out in the hopes of winning big. While many people are happy with the new addition, some individuals have voiced their disdain for the company's harsh stance against the LGBT community. The opening of the new restaurant meant that 80 new job positions are available. However, most of the positions are already filled up by Iowa State students.
Have $5 in an empty stomach? Iowa State's homecoming week begins Monday, October 26th. In addition to an abundance of activities that students can participate in, there will be many daily meals hosted on Central Campus. Throughout the week, there will be several meals hosted on campus that can be accessed by students who purchase a meal button for just $5. 250 students will have the opportunity to pay $10 and receive a fast pass that allows them to budge long lines and get their food first. Hungry students can expect to see Hickory Park, Poncheros, Panera Bread, and Fazoli's, in addition to treats from Insomnia Cookies and cupcakes sponsored by Dance Marathon. To see the full menu, visit the Iowa State Student Leadership Council website.
Feeling the midweek slump? Need a pick-me-up? The Dairy Club sells homemade ice cream to help combat sweet tooth cravings. The treat sells for $1 a serving, benefiting the club. The club then uses the proceeds towards dairy education in the area and donates the food at first. Flavors, buyers can choose from pumpkin spice to mint Oreo to classic vanilla. The stand is set up in front of Lush Auditorium in Kildy on Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Multiple international speakers have presented lectures throughout campus this October. Last Monday, Sir Fazl Hassan Abed spoke to the general public and students about empowering the poor in the fight against hunger. Sir Fazal founded the Bangladesh Rehabilitation Assistance Committee, a developmental organization that is the world's largest anti-poverty organization. He recently was announced the 2015 World Food Prize winner for his international efforts to end poverty in 11 countries. International speakers will continue to present at the Memorial Union in October. Head to the Great Hall next week to see lectures from producer Jad Abumrad and filmmaker Jose Antonio Vargas.
Radiolab producer and co-host Jad Abumrad will be taking the stage at Iowa State this Monday at 7 p.m. at the Great Hall in the Memorial Union. The topic of the lecture is gun turn. Abumrad will share on the new aesthetics he developed along with how negative feelings that occur during creative processes can help push us. Abumrad was the 2011 MacArthur Fellow and is now a staff at Radiolab. Radiolab is a philosophical and scientific-based radio program, which first aired in 2002 and is heard weekly on more than 450 NPR member stations. The show aims to further help educate the public on the topic of animal science and technology.
So Claire, tell us what's going on in the world of Cyclone sports.
It's going to be a busy week for the Cyclone Athletics. The Cyclone soccer team will host Oklahoma State tomorrow night, and the volleyball and football teams will host TCU on Saturday. Stay with us. I'll have more about sports after this break. The football team suffered a devastating loss last weekend against Texas Tech with a final score of 31-66. The quarterback, Sam Richardson, started the game out by throwing an interception, which could possibly have been the worst performance of his career. The coaching staff does not doubt his skills and remains faithful in his playing in the future. Richardson finished the game with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions, while backup quarterback Joel Lanning impressed coaches and fans with 41 yards and 17 rushing yards, in addition to a touchdown on 6 carries. Both players have another opportunity to shine this Saturday in Jack Trice as the Cyclones take on TCU at 6 p.m. Hope to see y'all there. The Iowa State men's golf team traveled to the southern part of the country last weekend to participate in David Tom's Invitational hosted by Louisiana State University. LSU essentially dominated their home event with a 16-shot victory, while the ISU men trailed with a 46-shot ending, landing them in a position for 7th place in a 14-team meet. The Cyclones had most difficulty with the course's par 5 holes, separating themselves from elite teams like LSU. Nick Vogt played the par 5s in 3 under par, which carried the Cyclones this week. The ISU golf team will end its season on October 25th and 26th against Bridgestone College in Greensboro, North Carolina. The Cyclone women's soccer team shut down the University of Northern Iowa Panthers on Tuesday night at the Cyclone Sports Complex. A game win of 1-0 over the Panthers was a great way to end the aggressive game. Coach Tony Minata said, "Obviously not giving up a goal is huge." The team's season started out slowly with a 0-5 losing streak in the Big 12 Conference. This game could prove to be a nice turning point for this year's team, especially with the upcoming game against Oklahoma State tomorrow night here in Ames. Here comes the freshmen. The Iowa State women's basketball team featured their brand new freshman additions during their media day coverage last week. One unique player that stands out among the rest is Claire Ricketts. Ricketts suffered a wrist injury and was unable to play more than 3 games in her last year of competitive high school play. During her 4 years playing at John Paul II High School in Plano, Texas, Ricketts led her team to 4 5A Final Four tournaments. Ricketts also earned her first team all-district honors when she led the team to a state championship as a junior. Ricketts said that things are going well now that practice has begun and everything is working out for her. We wish her the best of luck and are all excited to see what she brings to the court this season. And now we're joined by Jan at the wall. Jan, we had a beautiful day today. Can we expect to see these nice temperatures to stick around?
Those clouds we saw in the sky today are moving out of the state, making way for a cool night ahead. Know just how cool it'll get after the break. Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Jan Ryherd. We have some clear skies that are going to be continuing for us, and we do have a chance for frost because of those clear skies ahead. And we're also looking at a pretty windy weekend ahead. If you're going to be outside enjoying the football game or any outdoor activities, you might have to deal with a little bit of wind. Right now outside we are sitting at 52 in Ames, 57 in Des Moines. Up in the northern part of the state, we're sitting in the 40s, though, a little bit cooler up there. The winds are out of the northwest ahead of the high-pressure system that is coming into Iowa tonight into tomorrow morning. And because of that high-pressure system, we have clearing skies, so we are not going to see very many clouds for the next few days, just lots of sunshine for us here. Out to our west, though, they have had clear skies all day, which is helping contribute to these freeze warnings, watches, and frost advisories. Right now, Ames is not involved in those, but pretty soon we're going to be dealing with that, probably as early as tomorrow evening. Futurecast showing that high pressure coming into Iowa tomorrow, and it's just going to hang out with us for quite some time. Just a few fair weather clouds for the next couple of days, potentially, but mostly clear skies for us in the next few days. Tonight we're going to dip down into the mid-30s, not quite to freezing for us. However, up to our north and to our west, they are going to see those freezing temperatures. Tomorrow we'll get up into the mid-50s. To the north, not quite up to the 50s, but we should see around 54 here in Ames. Tonight we'll dip down to 35. Those clearing skies are going to help get us very cool, not quite to freezing, just close to it, but tomorrow night we'll probably see 28. So, sorry, it happens. It's the time of year. We're overdue for it. So, but before we do get that 28, we're going to see 51 tomorrow with lots of sunshine. It will be windy though, gusts up to 20 miles an hour out of the northwest. Looking ahead to Saturday though, game day against TCU. We should have a very nice day for tailgating. Nice fall day, high of 55. But by game time at 6, we'll see 47 degrees for kickoff temperature. Looking at the next 7 days, lots of sunshine, a warm up into Monday with some clouds, and then back to seasonal temperatures for the rest of the week. We'll have more news for you after the break.
After 5 years of successful and delicious business, one of Ames' historic downtown stores is closing its doors. The Cupcake Emporium has offered over 150 different flavors of cupcakes to members of the Ames community. Owner Tanya Zur realized that in carrying out her dream to open a cupcake shop, she was ignoring her other aspirations. Next year, she will move to Colorado in hopes of finding a new location to open her shop and bring her cupcakes that were once featured on Food Network's Cupcake Wars to a new group of people. From a vintage trailer, Zur will be selling cupcakes in different parts of the state to get a feel for where she will fit in. She says that Ames hasn't seen the last of her baking. When she makes trips back to Iowa, she plans to bring her trailer and her cupcakes along. The last day to stop by Cupcake Emporium for a well-deserved sugar fix is this Saturday.
It's hard to find a right place to eat and study on campus. Maria Lizignoli and Jordan Prince have the inside scoop on all the cafes around campus.
If you don't have a meal plan to use at Iowa State's dining centers, you can go to any of the 11 cafes on campus. Each cafe is a little different.
The other cafes usually have longer lines. At Jardine, it's more shorter, and it's my classes where my classes are at, and I can just take an easy study break.
Our coffee is different than the other ones. We use it to donate money to Uganda and support farmers there.
But the main seller at all of the cafes is coffee.
Probably our coffee is our biggest seller.
I usually try to just get coffee.
The vanilla latte, usually, or just plain coffee. This is what people want to get.
Each season, the cafes introduce their new specialty drinks.
Yeah, the special drinks for the season are a s'mores mocha, pumpkin white mocha, and a chai frap. And I haven't tried any of them, but I think the chai frap is pretty good. I heard a lot.
The campus cafes allow students to use their SciCash and dining dollars for their purchases. Campus cafes are a great place for you to study while you eat. They offer many different types of foods, drinks, and snacks.
I like our soup. All the other cafes usually have soup too, but I like the broccoli cheese soup probably the best.
With Maria Lizignoli, this is Jordan Prince for ISU TV.
Iowa State President Stephen Leaf recognized this to be the 7th year of record enrollment at ISU in his annual address last month. There are currently 36,001 students enrolled at Iowa State University, breaking previous records. A Cyclone mother and Iowa State Development Coordinator Teresa Albertson thought about being the one and believed that it provided a great opportunity to make t-shirts. President Leaf liked Teresa's ideas, and the shirts are now being sold in the Memorial Union as part of his Moving Students Forward initiative. The shirts are $7, and the money goes into an account that will eventually create new scholarships for Iowa State students.
Volkswagen remains under investigation after lying about the emission results of their newer vehicle models, and today, Germany demanded that the company recall 2.4 million cars that carry the software that aims to manipulate these emissions. After the company offered to repair each vehicle with its tampered software, Germany stated that a repair would not be sufficient, forcing a total recall. This mandatory recall is set to begin next year and will be overseen by Germany's Federal Motor Transport Authority.
Join us on Tuesday for more news, weather, and sports. From all of us at ISU TV, have a great night, Ames.